Hey, can everybody hear me? Hey, can everybody hear me? Okay, good. All right. Let's see if I can do this. All right, guys. I'm sorry that I'm late. It's gonna be a little delay on the screen, so I'll try to answer everybody's questions today. So let's get started. Welcome to the first day. I'm excited that everybody's joined in. Thank you for everybody that joined in. If you don't know who I am, my name's Nandi Civilian. Some people may know me, some people may not. I've been teaching classes for up to 3 years now, on and off. But some people would tell me certain topics that they want to learn, and I would try to make a little class or something online that's free for everybody to join in and learn something new. So right now I work at General Motors. I currently work with validation, and most of the time that I'm not working, I'm making tools for them. So I learned while I was in GM. I taught myself, and I wanted to share the experience with everybody. I did not know that you can code in Excel, so I wanted to make sure that everybody knows how to do it. So we can go ahead and get started. So I have my Excel open. So you can have a blank sheet. The first thing you want to do is save it as a macro. So you want to go to this PC, save it wherever you feel. I save it on my desktop. Just say example 1, or whichever you would like to save it as. And make sure that your save type is macro. So this is key right here. Making sure that this is saving as, because if you don't save it as this, you won't be able to open up your code. Okay, so once we save our save our document, you can go to options, and then you will want to go to custom ribbon. And once you go to custom ribbon, you'll see this developer icon here. This will help you code behind everything that's in the Excel that's in front. So if you don't have this, please let me know, and then I can help you outside of the class. But in order for you to go further, you have to make sure that this is available in your Excel. So make sure this is checked in order for you to code today. And if not, you can still watch and maybe take some notes. It's really simple. And then you could come back to day 3 if I haven't helped you by then. You can always ask me any questions or go over something else that you didn't understand or missed. So once you have that selected, you're good to go. So some people like to use the top rows as alphabets. Some people like to do numbers. So that is up to you and your choice. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I don't think we need that much space. So, and if you have any questions, please comment in the text box while I'm talking so I can make sure that everybody's on the same page. If you don't understand anything, please let me know as well. Also, please subscribe to the channel. I will have other classes. I will have dates already set up, so you can always follow the channel, and then the dates will come up and you can be able to join in on the live chat. And then these videos are saved, so you can always go back to them. All right, so let's get started. It's going to be kind of hard for you to maybe split screen, maybe, but that's why I'm going to take my time with it. So the first thing I want to do is show you the basics. So if nobody knows how to do Excel, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So if we want to do it like this, simple way is this. You can do, let's see. All right, so also do sum. So those are the main two functions that are used. They also have some if statements. So this will come in handy later on. So you want to use this as your range. And then your if statement will be, let's see, if it's greater than 0. Or let's do greater than 1. Okay. All right, so if it, oops, sorry. Forgot the quotation marks. So if it's greater than 2, if it's greater than 1, they'll add them together. So if I change this to 0, it's going to change this one to 2. Change it to 1. So this one only increase if it's greater than 2. Greater than 1, I'm sorry. So that's something easy. They have a lot of them like that. So the next thing we're going to do is code it. So for all the basic coders, I'm going to start with the basics. I'm sorry for the advanced ones. I got to start with the basics. So you want to go to developer, and then you want to go to Visual Basic. Okay. So we are on our sheet. Please ignore the top two. So we're on our sheet. So this is what you want to code within the whole workbook. This is what you want to code just on that personal sheet. So if you want to code in the whole workbook, then you will go directly towards that. But we're going to make our own function. So you want to go to modules, and then you can use this throughout the whole workbook and just call the function. You want to do function, and we want to do add them, and we want to do them. So right now I'm making a function called add them. I want to declare the variables. So you can call it first as. So when you're declaring a variable, you want to make sure you have them in front, and then the name the variable. And then as is just, what are you trying to make this variable type? So we can do variant. This means it will grab the whatever location that you're using this as, or whatever you're using. If you're using numbers or letters, it will automatically change the formatting. So we can do second. Oops. This, hold on, guys. So, all right. So inside of the function, you don't have to use them. I'm sorry about that. But inside, directly inside of the function, you do. If you want to call it another variable. But we're not going to use it right now. I'll show you later. So we want to take the first number, and then we want to do add them is equal to first plus second. The good thing about coding, you do not need any semicolons. So if any coders are frustrated about this, this is the best thing. That's why I like it. Another thing is it is case sensitive. So if I have a capital A here, it will change it. Let me see. I might have to zoom in so you guys can see it a little better. I don't know if it's not clear enough. Let's see. All right, so I'll figure that out because I'm looking at the video and it looks kind of small. But if you guys can't see, please let me know. I will make the text a little bit bigger for you guys. Okay, so so if you capitalize the A, it will change the format of the variable that you made to the correct format. So now we're done with our function. So now we want to save. And then now we want to go here and press equal and then add them. So once we have made our function, add them shows up. So you want to grab the first one and you want to grab the second one. And should give you the addition. So guess what, guys? You just made your first function. That is really simple. I'm telling you, this is really fun. Once you get the hang of it, you'll really like it. Okay. So another thing I want to show you is the button. So there's a button that you can add onto here. Sorry. I'm going to show you design mode. I'm going to show you two different types of buttons here. Okay. So this one, if you're in design mode, if you double click on it, you can change the title of it. And if you double click on it, you can also open up the button function. So it will automatically open up this private section for you to code just for that button. So if we want to do this, we can do let's do something simple. So let's do something simple for this one. We'll come back to that one. Right. So we want to put the answer here. So that location is E8. So let's remember that. All right. So we want to do you can do different types of format. So you can do sheet 1 dot sales, and then you want to do the row, which is 8, and you want to do the column, which is 5. Dot value is equal to sheet 1 dot cell. Okay, I could do a different one for you so you guys can see. Sheets. So this is sheet 1. So you want to call this number 1 dot cells. And you want to do 8 5 dot value. Oh, sorry. You want to do the first one, which is C2 right here. So that will be 2 3 dot value. You want to do plus. Another way you can do this is you can do the whole the name of the sheet. So if it's the We're going to do the second number, which is D2. So you want to do 2, 4. Okay, so this is basically saying we're adding 1 plus 2, and we're going to place it here. So there is anybody confused? If so, please comment below. So another thing, if you want to comment, a simple way of just commenting. Okay, so you want to save. And whenever this button is clicked, it will show the answer in this yellow box. Okay, so let's try it out and see what happens. So you want to go to developer. And you want to click on this button. Oh, we have a problem. Let's see what's going on. All right, so let's see if we try to keep it all the same. Oh, it doesn't like this one. That's what happened. Okay. So the formatting was kind of off. So I can put this back and see if it works really well. Save. I put a breaking point. This is how you put a breaking point inside of the code. Sheets 1 doesn't need to be sheets 1 for the second. Yeah, I made a mistake and put a S there. So we're gonna see if that works out. So if you want to do a break, you can place a breaking point here. So here comes the debug, and then you can go step into, and then it'll add into it, and then it'll stop wherever your breaking point is. Even if you highlight it, if you had variables, it can also tell you what the how much that variable is worth, and I can show you that too. So yes, Jones, you were right. This was incorrect. So I had an extra S here. So you can have the format like this, or you can have the format like this. And there's another format I will show you in a quick second. That has to deal with if you want to do the letters B or C2 or D2. Another thing that some people were asking me earlier was not you guys, but I was helping someone else out. If you can do letters here. So I want to try it out and see. I haven't tried it before. So let's see if it works out. We want to delete this. And no. Okay. Just making sure. Cool. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. It's another way that you could put letters. You have to do it a different way. It's the formatting is different, but I can show you guys. It's no problem. Okay, so next thing we're going to try to do is make variables for these locations on the Excel sheet. So we want to do them when I was talking about earlier. First number or whichever variable you want to do. So we're calling out a variable. You want to make it as a variant, or you can make it as a you can make it as a long, or however format you want to do it. I always use variant because you never know, it might change. It may be a word instead of a number. So once you do that, we have that first one. Number. And We can do answer. So we want to do copy this line. We want answer. Oops. We want this line to equal answer. So that's where the highlighted yellow is at, right here. All right, this is the first variable that we're adding together. Yes, I know. So we want the first number equal to that one, and we're gonna copy this last one and make this the second number. Oops. And so we want answer equal first number plus second number. Then we want to print out at this location what we get as an answer. So before we print out, I'm gonna put a break there so I can show you guys how they show you what each variable is. So we want to do debug. We want to save first. One other thing, once you save, you cannot go back. You cannot go back. So there is no back button. That's the only flaw of Excel. If you do any editing with your code to the Excel sheet, you cannot go back to the original Excel. It will save automatically. So if I were you, from my experience, if you're going to edit a code and you like the format that's already at, please start a new one or copy it and name it something different so you don't mess up and you can always have something to go back on. Oh, yeah, I learned that the hard way. I was very upset. But another thing, you can have Notepad++ on the side, and you can add that and copy and paste your code. So, all right, so we're going to go to debug. We're going to step into, all right. Question, doesn't the blue back button work? Okay, so the blue back button does work with your code, but once you start a code and do any type of editing towards the Excel sheet, you can't go back on the Excel sheet. So if I say delete the whole sheet because I'm trying to practice on how to delete something and I had stuff on that sheet, I cannot go back and bring back everything that was on that sheet. So yeah, that's the only thing. And inside of the code, yes, you can always go back. But on the Excel sheet, if you make any changes, you cannot go back. Okay, I'm glad you got it understanding. All right, so once you step in, once you get to learn the shortcuts, you can press F8. So once you step in, it's passing clarifying all the variables, stepping in. So the first number is picking it up. So as you can see on here, it'll say first number is equal to 1. So we set C2 for the location of C2 on Excel sheet and set that to 1. Same thing with the second number. The second number is empty because we did not go through that line of code yet. So once I press F8, it'll change and it'll show. I keep getting a compile error, invalid outside procedure. If you are able to send me a picture of your code or your error screen to my GroupMe message or Facebook, however you were able to get on, or text me, Amber, I'm sorry. You can text me or do whatever and show me what your what you're getting, and then I can see what you're going through from there. Okay, so as you can see, it'll change it once you go past the code. Same thing with answer. It'll show you that the first number is 1, second number is 2, and the answer is empty because we did not compile that line of code yet. So once I do it, it'll show you 3. This line of code will show you that I am printing this line to the Excel sheet, and then boom, there goes 3. So now you guys know how to do a button with the code, make your own function. I'm telling you, guys, if I had this in school, once all the teachers are asking me, hey, can you do this real quick? Can you do this? I wish I would have known this. I really do. So once we're done, I'm gonna close this out. So if you want to change the name of this, you go to properties, right click on it, press properties. The name of the button. So this will change your name in the code. So that function that you made in the code won't work because you just changed the name of this button. But if you just want to change, so yeah, so now not a legal object. Okay, so now if you want to just change the caption of what it says, add me, then you can do that. You can always change the background color, make it look pretty, however you like. Change the font. There's a lot of ways you could do it. Change the size, everything. Another thing you can do is, so here, when we go back to the code, you can see that you have a command button now. So if you do command button, and if you come over here to the side and you see where it says click, they have options. So if there's an error, if there's a double click, if you just put your mouse over it, so there's a lot of options that you can do with the button. We can try a double click, and we can try to subtract. We can try to subtract the, we don't want error. I'm sorry. We want double click. There you go. So it changed it, so double click. So we can copy and paste this line of code, and we can subtract. Now, we want to subtract it and always change your comments. All right. So, okay. So now let's save it and see what happens. It should give us 1 minus 2, which is -1. So it should give us a -1 here. But let's see what happens. So if I delete this and I go to design, take design mode off, and I click on add me, 3 should come up. So if I double click on it, -1 should come up. There you go. So I click it once, 3, double click, -1. Right. If there are any questions out there, if you guys want me to try something, please let me know. I can do that as well. Okay, so I want you guys to open up a text file. So you can go to Notepad++ or however you like. Open up a text file and type in your name. Okay. I want you to save it as whatever file name you want to save it as. And remember the location. I'm just going to save it in the desktop. name dot text. Okay. So now I want to populate my name here. I'll make sure everybody is on page. Please share this with everybody. If you guys know anybody, know any group me's, anything, please do. I'm gonna try to see if anybody wants to join in. Okay. Well, before I move on, I'm gonna see answer Amber's question. Invalid outside procedure. Okay, Amber, double check your um double check your variable names. Your variable names are you're not using the correct variable names. So double check your spelling errors on the other names. I didn't want to put you on blast like that, but I guess I just wanted you to know. So she had a error saying compile error, and she didn't she added two variables together but didn't declare the two variables basically. And the only reason is because there was a spelling error in her code. So it's something simple to change. All right. I fixed first number, but still getting the error. Okay. You have to make sure first number is matching with when you first started off, like how did you declare it, and second number. Make sure the spelling is the same for both those variables, and it should work. I'm looking at it and nothing is different. Yeah, it should work. Just make sure all the spelling is correct, and it should come out. Okay, so I want to see if everybody's ready. Make sure you make your text file and save it on the desktop or wherever you're placing it. Okay. All right. So, Amber, I'll double check yours later if you're still getting the error. All right. So now we're gonna do text file. So as an example, you have a text file. and you want to place it inside of your Excel. So, so I just want you guys to just try to make a code and see what you think you can come up with. Like, see what you think we will have to do for this to work. And I'll give you a few minutes. Actually, I'll just give you one. Okay, so we want to call this sub. We're starting a new one. Sorry, sub text file example. You can call it whatever you like. And we're not grabbing any variables. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is figure out what type of variables we're going to use. So we're going to use a variable to grab the text file and what is inside of the text file. So you want to do dim my file, or however you like. You want to make this as a string. Then you also want to do my name, because we know that's what's inside of there. And you're going to make that as a string. And then you want to do, I always do counter, but you can do, we can do line, text line. Let's do text line. As string, starting points as integer, and dim ending points as integer. So this is where we're going to find our file location. This is where we're going to have, this is what we're going to get the words off of the document and place them into this string. This is what line we're going to be inside of the string, inside of the text file. And then this one, we're going to have a pointer inside of the text file on where we're going to be at. The endpoint will be basically the end of file. Okay, so we're going to do my file is equal to wherever your location was. So my location was my desktop. So you want to open up your desktop. And this is my location. Where is my, there it is, right here. So properties. So you want to make sure that wherever your location is for that file, make sure you copy and paste it there. And then we named it name.text. Oh no. Oh, that's my fault. Sorry. Quotation marks. Okay, so now this will basically open up the file. So if you don't want to open up the file, there's a function that you can call. So we can do, let's do it the hard way first, and then we can do it the other way. All right, so next we're going to do is open up the file without opening it up. Well, I mean, open up the file, sorry. We're going to do open my file. For input as number 1. Okay, and this will allow you to read the file, and we can refer the file as number 1 during the rest of the code. So that's how we're just going to call the file name. File now is number 1. You can name it as anything you want, number it as anything you want, but I'm just trying to keep it simple as possible. We can do 11. My favorite number is 11, so we can do that. All right, so thank you for everybody that's subscribing. All right, so now we're gonna do a do loop. So anybody that doesn't know, we have to do a do a do loop. It can be, it's considered, you can also do a while loop, you can do a for loop, you can do an if loop. If you want to know more about those type of loops, just let me know. I can explain more. But if not, I can move on. So we're gonna do this code until the end of file EOF. Okay. And so we do line input. Number 11. That's what I do on my thing. And we're gonna do text line. If anything is confusing, please let me know. Text, we're gonna do, let's see, let's think. So basically, during the text line, and we want to do my name is equal to my name and text line. And then you want to loop. So the VBA, this code will basically read the single line in the file, assign it to the text line, basically the variable that we made, and then join everything together. So basically my name and whatever text line it is, and the next line, and the next line, and the next line. We're making a bigger string as we go on. So next we're going to close the file. Oops. Right. And then next, we basically want to do the position of the words, starting point and the ending point. So we're going to do starting point is equal to string my name and ending point equal to oops, sorry. I don't want to do it like this. I don't want to do it like this. Okay, I don't want to do it like that. Sorry. I don't want to do it like that. So I basically want to do oh, here goes the other format. Range. And we want to do the cell. So where we want the cell at is B13. So we're going to do B13. Dot value is equal to we're gonna try to get that text. So we're just gonna do my name. But basically, we're gonna place whatever we grab from that file and place it here. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, I do not want to open up PowerPoint. I got a message. Oh, I got a text message. Okay, so how do I get my Excel dark? You can go to File, Options. I think it's General. And then you go to No Background. And then go to black or whatever color you want. So that's what I have it as. All my Microsoft is black. My Word, my Outlook, Excel, PowerPoint, everything is black. So once you change the settings, it's good. So yeah, that's how you change your settings. Okay, so back to the code. All right, so I'm pretty sure, as I'm looking at it, it should work out. So we located the file, we opened up the file, and named it 11. So we're gonna do at the end of file, every line of code, place it in our. Oh, I deleted something. I just realized that. Okay. Guys, you didn't catch it. Okay. Text line. Okay. So every line that they grab, we're going to place it in my name as our string. And then once we're going to close the file and then place whatever we have in our string into our B13 cell. So I want to put a thing right here. And I want to put one here. A breaking point. So let's see how this works out. Let's cross our fingers. Oh, we're getting somewhere. All right. So we got my file as the location. All right. So bad file name and number. I knew it. All right. Okay. So I'm going to try the function and see what happens. Let's try my file. Actually, that worked out. So that means they don't like what happened in here. All right, file already open. Okay. Okay, so it liked it up to here, but it does not like the do until the end of file. Okay. That's weird. Okay, so we're gonna try a different way then. I don't understand why it's not working because I use this format a lot. Importing text, but it's always what is my name? My name is the string you're grabbing from the text file and placing everything that you're grabbing from the text file and placing it into that variable name. So into that string. So that's what my name is. Um change input to my file, I think. Okay, so right here, I'm changing open my file for input as 11. I'm basically naming that file to number 11. So I don't have to do my file anymore. And so we can possibly print out each letter inside of that file, inside of the text, inside of the Excel sheet, and try that out. So the way to do that, I'm gonna do I can do a for loop. Um, or I can do a if statement. No, I can't do an if statement. I can do a do. So let's try this out and see. All right, so it doesn't like my loop. So, but we want to do at the end of the file. So let's try this. We're gonna do them done as Boolean. And I'm gonna put done is equal to false. False. Okay. I'm gonna close this out. And it may not like my number 11, so we can try 1. It may not like that either. Okay, so while loops in VBA is really simple. The difference is you would have to do while and then loop. And do while. Yes, I know. That is the format for it. All right, do while done. I want to do this as true. Basically do while this is 1, which is true. So we're going to loop until that is true. And then we want to do we want to print out each letter inside of the text file inside of the Excel sheet. So does anybody have any preference on how they want to do this? Or any ideas? You can type in the comment section, type in the type of code that you think we should do. Okay. We can do that. So this code executes. The one code I have it previously that I worked on. I did it in this format, but unfortunately, you know, when you're trying to do something and present it to people, it never works when you want it to work. So so that's my issue right now. But I bet you when this class is over, I bet you I can find one error and then fix it, and then it works really well. Oh no, I was just trying to figure. It was an issue with the do loop. They didn't like the format that I was using, so we can grab all the variables now and place them in a string, and then print it out in one cell, or we can do each letter from the text file. Um, really, yeah, sure. Okay. Okay. So somebody has an error. Somebody messaged me. Okay. No. Okay. So we're gonna go over that. I'll just text her. Sorry. Okay. I mean, let me see. I'm trying to figure out what I did wrong here with that do loop. I really want to figure this out. I'm sorry, guys. Um. Okay, so it likes it that I opened it and I grabbed it, but it doesn't like everything else afterwards. Okay, I think you may have had it do until, if I recall. Yeah. So let's go back and try this again. Do until end of file. one. And then line input. Okay, so this is how I have my do loop. And then I close the file. All right, let's try it out and see. All right. I grabbed it and opened it. Oh, now it's working. I knew it. Now it's gonna work. Yep, now it worked. Great, guys. Thank you, Jay. I told you guys they didn't like my 11. I think it was. Everything else was the same. Let's see if it works out with my 11. Yeah, it was my number. The whole entire time, it was my number. Okay. So it works now. I knew it. Something simple. All right. So we grabbed the docket, we grabbed it, and then we grabbed their name, which, hold on, I can go here, press play. So our name from the file is Nandi, well, mine's or whatever your name is. And then we close the file and then we print out what we had in our string into that cell. All right. So we have 10 more minutes, or we can go longer, whichever one. I will stay on as long as people are on here. We can try other things. I can show examples of other things. If anybody wants to try something out, please let me know. Please comment below. We could try some things out. Something simple. That's why it's a love-hate relationship when you're a coder. It's a love-hate relationship. If anybody has any issues, message me. But it isn't working. I see one typo. Okay. Let me see. Hey Amber, if you're still on, can you email me your Excel sheet? And then we can probably debug it live. Because I don't want you to miss out on anything because you couldn't go any further. Okay. So that was basically the basics. I can try to show you guys something that I've done. We can do it real quick though. All right, so let's make a form. So a user form is something that it can pop up on the screen and you can basically interact with it with buttons. So I can do this real quick if anybody likes it. Okay. So I can email you guys. Oh, wow. No, that's not what I wanted to say. Sorry. I can show you guys. I can show you guys how to do this real quick. So I'm not going to get fancy with it. I'm just going to show the basics. So we want to do a button. We want to do an add button. So we want to properties. We want to change this to an add button. And we want to show the user add. And then we want another one. Cut. Okay, so we have two buttons. And we want an input from the user. So there should be a text. There you go, text box. So we want one number here. And we want one number here. And then we want, we want another number here for the answer. Okay. So we're gonna label this. Sorry guys. It's very sensitive to the touch. We're gonna name this answer. Actually, no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do a label. We're gonna call this input 1. And we're gonna call this input 2. Okay. So this one, we want the font really big. Yeah, that's why I don't like using that over there. Okay. So we want it aligned in the middle. And if you go to alphabet, And then you go to font, you do bold, and then we want to do like 48. Pretty sure that's big enough. Yeah, it's big enough. All right, do the same thing for over here. We want it to align in the center. And we want to go to font, bold it, and go to 48. I'm gonna make this color a different color. Okay. So now that we have this, we can add these two together or subtract them together. So, and whoever designs basically their form and has their own customization and makes it look pretty, send it to me. Send me a picture. Send me a video how it works or anything. I'll have a special surprise for you. So best one to send it to me. And so we want to add these buttons together. So textbook. This is text box 1, text box 2, text box 3. So if we do if we have the user click the add button, then we want to do text box 1 dot value. We want text box 3 dot value is equal to text box 1 dot value plus text box 2 dot value. Okay. If we go back to the form and we do the subtraction, do the same thing. Do this and just put a minus sign there. Okay. Then if we go back here, we should be good to go. So let's see if this works out. So if we run this, let's save it first. Oh, actually, let's call it first. So you want to go to properties. Oh, no, sorry. So you want to click on the outside of the form. And we want to change this to my first form. Whatever you want to call it. And then so the name, just call it my first form. All right, so we want to add a button out here. So let's add another button. So when we press this button, let's change this. Call my first form. Okay. You do that. Or you can do my first form dot show. Change the name of this so the user won't know. Like, what does command button 2 do? All right. Oops. Oops, sorry. Changed the wrong one. Needed caption. Open my form. So we're gonna do Visual Basic, save. Let's see if this works on the first try, guys. It does. Okay, great. So we got 5, 3. We want to add them together. Let's see what we get. Oh wow, 53. Oh, this is subtraction. Subtraction works, but addition doesn't work. All right, let's see what we did wrong in the addition part. Let's see. Okay, so when we press the addition button, the subtraction works. Addition doesn't. That's weird. Let me see what happens again. 5 and 3. If I add them together, I get 53. If I subtract them, I get 2. So okay, so I think I know what they're doing. Let's try something else. Yeah, I'm gonna change it up. Unfortunately, I was trying not to do it like that, but we can do it like that. It's fine. No, it's not gonna change anything. I don't even know why I was gonna try. Okay. About 1 as integer. Val 2 as integer. All right. Val 1 is equal to text box value 1. Yes, I know. Good thing that they help you along the way. It's like, you cannot leave this line until you finish. I'm sorry. Val 2 is equal to text box 2 value. Val 1 plus Val 2. Let's see how this works out. Save. Open my form. See what happens. And value superbly. Oh, didn't put an equal sign here. There you go. So if I subtract it, if I add them, if I subtract it, if I add them. So so you guys can create your own. Show me your examples. This is something basic, but you can do multiplication. You can do more than one number, but put some personalization on it. Show your personal creativity in this. So if somebody opens up your Excel, like, hey, I want to do this, you can have a form pop up. You can have it on Excel, do it. But there is coding in Excel, and I wanted to express this to you guys and show you guys. Thank you for whoever is still watching. Subscribe, make sure, share it with your friends. This video will stay on afterwards. I was planning on an hour and a half. But if you guys want to stay longer and I can stay until 8 and do something else, this is just, just tutorial number 1. The next time we're going to meet, I'm going to have a whole project for us, and then you can basically use it on your personal use or something that you guys want to create. So I will have options for us to do. You can leave a comment below if you want to do something. If you want me to answer any questions, you can always leave a comment. You can always email me. My email is, I will place it in the comment section below. Okay, so this is my email. If you guys have any questions, just leave your comments below. My email is placed on here. I will leave my email and contact information in the comments just in case this live chat doesn't stay on there. But I want to thank everybody for coming. I don't want to end it. If you guys want to continue, please just let me know. You could just say, yeah, go. Or, okay, Nadi, you can shut up and, go home and go to sleep. So it's your choice. I'm trying to think what will be another quick thing I can show you guys. We did read out of a file. We did a button. Let's see. We can do play around with the inserts over here. So there's different types of inserts. There's a form, there's a combo box, there's check boxes, there's a list box. Let's see what else they have over here. Text box, images. They have a spin button. So there's different ways that you can always play around them. And then in your form, you can have text boxes. You can have check boxes. You don't have to have what I have. So yes, I have an input here. Yes, I have an input and an answer. But you can show your answer a different way. You can have a pop-up screen. So a pop-up screen could be, I can show you guys real quick. So instead of having the answer show on, instead of having this answer show, you can have, because I got this open. You can also have, oops, sorry, VBox. So, what do I want to show? The message box. So I'm going to do message box. We want to do answer equal to space. And we can do an and then we can do, in order to do this, yes, I know. We're going to do dem answer as integer. Then we're going to do answer here. So basically, I'm saying print a pop-up message box that says answer is equal to and whatever value we have. So if I do 70 and 2, I do add, it's going to show it. Answer is equal to 72. So it's a pop-up box for you guys. Trying to think what other quick things you could do. Instead of having one big form, you can have multiple questions. So so this is the pop-up box. So you can have ask the user a question. Oh, they do not like pop-up boxes. Wow. I mean, they don't like me having this open. Okay. So this will be my last one, and then we can call it quits. So instead of the user placing their answer inside of this box, you can have the user click on the add button and then ask the user, what are your numbers? So for example, val1 is equal to input box what is your first number? Okay. And then it'll have an input box. And then it'll set it to that value. And then once you do that, you could do it again for the second variable and still place the variable in the box. But instead, they will have to click on if they want to add or subtract first. Okay. So I can show you guys. Oh, can't do that. I gotta save it first. Okay. So if I want to add, what is your first number? 8. Oh, come on. It's an integer. Oh, this is the reason why I do variant. Let's restart, please. This is the exact reason why. Try it again, see what happens. Add 5. 13. Answer is 0. So let's see what we did wrong. Let's see. I'm gonna do this here and this here. Wonder why it's not grabbing it. All right, let's try it on, see what happens. So if I do add and 5, value is 5. Oh, that's why. Equals val1. Add it backwards. Thank goodness for debugging. 46. Oh, we know it's gonna work. And your answer is not 546. Okay, so now we have this again. So we want to do, oh, okay. So I want to see if this works. Some. Let's see. All right, so because it doesn't like how I'm casting it, the data type, it's not going to add them together. It's just going to place them together as a string. So, well, we don't want that though. All right, let's see. Let's think. See what happens if I change answers format. Let's see if it works out. Nope, it didn't work. Still add them together. Okay, so it's taking them as adding them together like they're a string and not a number. Yes, I would like for you to restart the whole program. Oops. Three, 8. Oops. Sorry. 3. Okay, now it works. So if I take this off, yep. So now it works. There you go. 10 minutes left. I think I can stop here. I think I done you enough with adding and subtracting. I can review everything that we went over. So last thing that we went over is a form, making a user form. So you can have inputs, you can customize it, make it safe, certain things. You can also change the background, you can change the font, have the buttons do certain things. Also, make sure if you want to edit the code, make sure you close out the form. Double clicking. And then you can go straight inside of the form's code. Another thing to change is properties. If you want to change what the code is, the name for the button in the code, you will want to go to name. But if you want to change how it looks for the user, you will change it in caption. Also, if you want to change the size of the font or if you want to make it bold, make sure you go to the font section. If you want to make it center, there's a lot of settings that you could do in here. Same thing with the text boxes. You can always change those names into something else inside of the code. But remember, once you change it outside of the code, you're going to have to change the format of it inside of the code. So make sure that their code works. Lastly, for the user form, I think that's all for that. What we learned today. Make sure your data type is correct when you're doing any type of math, any type of strings, anything. Make sure it's correct and that you're using the proper one. Because this can be a string. And it's basically, if you have your first number as a 3, second number as an 8, it will show up as a string. That means you're doing the first part of the string as a 3, the second part of the string as the 8, third part or whatever, etc., etc. Instead of adding them together. So make sure you change your format and your data type for your variables. To indicate that you're starting a variable, make sure you have a dim in front, naming your variable, and then as. And then once you type in as, they'll give you a lot of options. So that's a good thing. Another thing that we did today was input boxes. You can always have somebody input information and then place it on an Excel sheet or inside of your form. Also, you can always edit the form. So you can always print something in here. You don't have to have them type something in here. So you can always print like we did with answer. So if we go to the sheet section, what we went over on the sheet for everybody that came in a little late, or so the first thing that I showed was, okay, put this side to side. First thing I showed was if you do 1 plus 2 in the regular Excel sheet, you can just add them together. There's also a function that's called sum. We also create, and there's also a function with the if statement. So if you're adding these, you're summing these variables up, and you want to make sure all the variables are greater than 1. So if they're not greater than 1, then they're not going to add up. As you can see, it says 2. Because this one is not greater than 1. So if we put 5 here, everything will be changed. So here we made our own function. So if we go to module and see our functions, go to add them. You want to declare what you're trying to grab from the Excel sheet. So we want to grab our first number and our second number from the Excel sheet. And then we want to add them together and set the answer to the name of the function. That will automatically print where you started the function at. Another thing that we did was the Add Me button. We went directly to Insert and we went to Command button. We edited the same way as any other buttons that we showed earlier. You can just go to their properties and change the name of it. So if we go to design mode will have you double click on this without executing it. So if you go to it, it will show you where the cursor is at, and this is what the code is for that button. So basically we did what the functions did, and all we did was add those two together. And we took the data from what is that? C2, which is 1. And we took the data from D2, which is 2. And then we added them together. And then once you click on it, it will add them together and place it in the location that you have it set as. We also looked at it as you can also always change it up here. If you want to change the button and double click on it, key press, hold it. So we did a double press. So if you double press, we did the same exact thing, but we subtract the two numbers. And last thing we did was the text file. So we declared these variables. Actually, we do not need these. Okay, so we declared 3 variables: your text file, the string that's inside of your text file, and a text line. Basically, how many lines in code it is, and if it's a 0 end of file, then basically we're using that as a pointer. You don't need this line. Okay, so then you figure out where your file is. So if you go to my desktop and open up my name.txt, it will have my name placed in here. It will have my name placed in here. And then we open up the file and name it as number 1. So we don't have to use my file anymore throughout the code. And so we work on the code until the end of file. Open up the code, open up the document, grab every text that's in the file, put it inside of our string that we call my name, and then we close the loop. Once it reaches the end of the file, close the file, and then place what we got from the file from our string into this location that we highlighted right here. So B13. So you also notice that you can also use this format to call a cell, or you can use this format to call a cell, or this format to call a cell. Okay. And if you're working inside of the sheet document, you do not have to call out the sheet name. You can just say the cell. And if you're trying to call a different number from a different sheet, all you have to do is declare that sheet number there. You have to do that if you're inside a sheet. So for an example, let's do an example. So let's do one. Let's do one over here. So we want to add another variable. So we want to do dim third number as variant. And we want to say the third number is equal to sheet 2 dot range. I'm trying to do a different format so you guys can see the different ways you can do this. We place it in A1, and then we close dot value. And then we want to subtract third, or we can do this too, equals answer minus third number. So that will be 1 minus 2 minus 1, because I put a 1 over here on the other sheet at A1. That'll be -2 as your answer. So let's see if it works out. Okay. Did 3. Oh, that's why. Andy. Expected sum function and property. Let's end the sum right here. telling you, right when I try to do something. All right, so let's just do this. Sheet 2. Cell 1 of 1. We're not even going to add the third number. We're just going to grab it from the other sheet. See what they say now. So we're grabbing cell C2, which is 1, and subtracting it from sheet 2, which is a 1 as well. So it equals 0. And if we add them together, it should be supposed to be 2. Oh, well, because we didn't change the code for the add. We only changed the code for subtraction. Okay. So yeah, so now you can call out different sheets. Also, if I change this to just cell, this works the same as also. But yeah, so it works the same. So you can play around with those. Last thing and final, calling out your form. You have to make sure that you have this line of code somewhere, some type of code, because your form will not populate unless you do. So if it means you double clicking on a cell or you putting your cursor there and then open up your form, then by means do it. But you have to have this line of code in order to open up this form that you created. Last thing, and I'm over time. I don't want to keep you guys. So the last thing while you're coding that I noticed that I like, some people don't like the letters, especially if you're doing a cell number. So your cell number here will be 3, 4, row 3, column 4. So when you're starting to look at data and it's like all the way to like ZZ or AABB, the column names, and you don't want to count on your fingers what the number is for the column. You go to settings, and then you want to go to data. Oops, I'm sorry. You don't want to go to data. You want to go to formulas, and you want to click on R1C1 reference style. So row 1, column 1 reference style. This will change all your columns into numbers. And this will be helpful if you're coding. And if you have any more questions, please let me know. Leave a comment. I thank you everybody for staying with me. I'm sorry I went over the time. I try to give as much information as possible, but I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next session. And contact me. My contact information is below. You can look us up on Twitter. I'm also have a group me. I'm also on Facebook. Also subscribe to the YouTube. Send me a message on YouTube, and I also can answer anybody's questions. So I'll see you guys later. Share with your friends, and I'll see you guys in October.